Hey YouTube, it's JP Dillon. I don't really do a lot of videos on fans, even though that's kind of what got me obsessed with old things, was old fans. So we are going to do a video on this little guy here. This is a 1960s McGradw-Edison Zero, and I believe it's in model 1296 or 12496. That'd be 12496. These little 14-inch metal box fans rarely ever come up around here. And if they do, they're usually at eBay prices times 3. So when I found this one, I was really ecstatic, even though it was kind of beat looking. And it was in one of these offer-up ads where it was just a pile of stuff in a picture, and they said $20 each item, which yeah, okay. So I asked if the fan was still available, and he said yeah. And $20 just seems a little high to me, considering it was kind of beat up. And he said, all right, how about 10 bucks? And I said, okay. So last night I went out and drove out to Blossom Valley and picked it up. And as you can see, it's pretty rough. Spent a lot of time in a moist environment. The sides don't look as bad, but the rust is pretty deep everywhere. That side's a little nicer looking. Zeros used to have this really pretty color to them, and it fades funny over time. It's a 3-speed, it's not a 2-speed, so it wasn't a cheapy motor. But I suspect that this motor is probably well used. The bearing looks a little dry. It definitely doesn't look like it was well cared for. They used this until it no longer suited their needs, and then it either got put in storage or set aside. I do have the larger brother, which I'll show you in just a moment. And but first, let's plug it in a little bit and run it for a short time and see what the condition of the motor is. Now we're going to listen to the sound of a plane fly overhead because, well, we're near an airport. You know, I find it interesting that myself, Radio TV Phononut, and Shango 066 are all near flight paths. Is that like some sort of weird coincidence? Anyway, let's see what this thing does. Yeah, I'd say those bearings are trash. Really just wants to seize up, doesn't it? So, yikes. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. So, it's not practical to press new bearings in and out of these just because of the way the retainers are made. You usually destroy the bearing retainers in the process. There's probably people out there that know what they're doing better than I, but I think what I'll end up doing in the short term is pulling it apart, cleaning it up, polishing what's left, and packing some heavy oil in it and just running it until I find a motor that's suitable for it. But yeah, let's go take a look at the bigger brother that I have, just to kind of gain some inspiration. Need a project. I got 3 of them sitting here. I'll get to them in a little while, but I've got other things on my plate right now. So here's the bigger brother. This is also a 3-speed, but this is the 19-inch. And it's beat, but you can definitely see that the color on it's much nicer. And this is another one that's in the works, but it's got a busted handle. So I gotta find one of those or rob it off another thing. And this one, I believe, actually is labeled an Eskimo. McGraw-Edison had a number of different brands: Wizard, Eskimo, Zero. I don't think Frigid was one of them though. But that's also on the list. And I've got a fair amount of fans. The old Vornado there, which is a Trooper. The one I just got, Montgomery Ward's behind it. Kmart, which I think is a Lakewood. Kenwood roller, or a Kenmore roller. Another Kenmore back there underneath that pile of Vornado. which the push buttons died on, so I replaced it with a Triac motor control. And then hiding down there is a big old GE twin window fan. And there's more. There's the EXL up here. This is just where I've stashed everything in storage until I get everything organized. But yeah, so baby box fan there. We're going to see if we can clean it up, at least get the motor operable. Definitely sand it down, repaint it, make it look nice. So obviously this is going to be a multi-part series, and it probably ain't all going to happen right away because holiday seasons and everything else happening right now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this little snippet, and we'll get into this thing as we have more time and money to throw at. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. More stuff to come.